of YouTube, Annette Dion here. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic News Network. It's Hump Day. How are you doing? I see several of you are here already. If there are any technological problems, like if you can't hear me or something, just let me know. Today is Wednesday, August 13th, 2025. We're here to go over the news. Tell your friends. Text them right now. Tell your friends. We're here to go over the news like we do very often. I didn't do a pop-up on the rocks today because I decided to just go to the beach and go in the water. It was nice. I took it easy. Sound is great. Excellent. So we will, we have somebody from Germany here. Hi, Carl. Guten Abend. Good evening. Thank you for the translation. I thought it was something like that. We appreciate that. Yeah, so there's a lot. By the way, I have not figured out why your handle is different now. And I will look into that further, and I kind of don't know where to look, but I will. So if it bothers you a lot, then just maybe refrain from chatting until we figure it out. And people are welcome to Google it for me. Why is YouTube doing this? Or they actually have your YouTube handle. It's a weird time. It's a very weird time. I am pretty angry at the whole. I really am. I'm trying to contain my anger about Putin coming and setting his feet on United States soil. I really need to read on it. I've been telling you I was going to read on it, all week, every single time we come on. So we'll do that. Give people a chance to show up, first of all. I do have a list. There's so much news that I took out the whiteboard. Yes, I did. And scribbled some stuff on it. I'm going to start with a question that we all have. I know we all have this question. Why are we, I don't know if it's really true, but from all appearances, it appears as though nobody's looking out for us. That's what it appears to look like. And, we can have a discussion about this. You can put your comments about this. Why is nobody looking out for us? I'm really working on reining in my anger about this, but I really think we should address it. I'm fucking furious about this. I'm beside myself with fury that nobody's protecting us. It appears that way, right? And it feels that way too. Yeah, there is a lot going on in the background that we're not aware of. Yes, definitely. I'm all on board with that. Psychically, I know there's more than like it would be mind-boggling. My sense is if you actually found out how much is going on behind the scenes. But why are we being left hanging out to dry? Past furious, I'm still furious. Sandra's saying past furious. I'm not past furious. So I offered a technique, and I think that it's really useful. If you're furious, and this just came to me the other day, if you're furious and you just want to just erupt into a rage, acknowledge that. Go punch pillows or something. But at least imagine that if you can imagine your fury and your hatred and just wanting revenge, if you can imagine it as like a dark cloud, Mentally make an opening in the center of the cloud and use that to beam white light through onto the object of your fury and see the evil obliterated. Hi from Atlanta. You don't have leaders, you have managers. Do you even have that, Veronica Anderson? Do you even have managers? So we're going to read on that right now. We're going to read on why is nobody protecting us? I mean, we're spending our taxpayer dollars for these things that ensure our safety. And the last I heard, Dumpy's planning some kind of a wrestling or a boxing match to be on the front lawn of the White House. Did anybody else hear that? I know Putin's going to ask for Alaska. And there's a lot of activity going on in the Kremlin right now because this is Putin's last stand. This is Putin's last hope. Right? This is it. This is Putin's last hope. He has OCD for killing. And that we're letting him onto United States soil is beyond the pale. What we have had to put up with. So anyway, all our taxpayer dollars are going to what? A fighting match on the front lawn of the White House? A ballroom? I have to rein it in. White light. I hope you guys are doing okay. I just think it's healthy for us to express how we feel. So have at it in the chat. I'm looking for the nefarious people cards. Because we definitely need those. Let's first ask the pendulum a question. I think my nefarious cards are... Oh, here they are. Simply this. Is anybody looking out for us? Kind of. Kind of. Kind of. We're all sick of them. I know you're all like, to say, kind of. All right, this is... When the pendulum does this, it's clearing negativity, so we'll just let it do that. My guides are like, all right, Annette, clear it. Clear it. Clear it. So you can be clearer. Our taxpayer dollars pay our military, pay for all our protections that they have stripped away. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let the pendulum clear this. All right, so let's pull some cards. But I have to wait till the pendulum clears this. So if you want to know how to use a pendulum, if you're a member, you have access to my videos on how to use a pendulum, among lots of other things. Go into the videos. Politicians being too busy being politicians. Yeah. Sorry, it's taken a while. This is the negativity being cleared. Look at what the guides are doing here. It's really intense. So let's talk while this is clearing. Just so you know, if you use a pendulum, if it does this and it swings furiously, it means there's energy that needs to be cleared. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's interesting that this is happening. And I have to just let it go and let it clear. Okay. I'm actually starting to feel the difference. And because we live in a collective mind consciousness, you might feel that too. So actually what the pendulum was doing was clearing. I mean, when it just does a little bitty circle, it just means like it's not been determined yet. So when it goes this way, I'm giving you a little pendulum Yeah, I'm giving you a little pendulum lesson. When it does that, counterclockwise, when it swings furiously like that, it's clearing negative energy. And then you just go ahead and swing it to the other direction. That it did spontaneously. And this is installing white light, and that usually takes less time. And there we are. Okay. Phew! Thank you, pendulum. I'm gonna pull 3 cards on why are we so unprotected? Why are they just letting him run roughshod over all of it, over all of our national security? Yes, your energy can be affecting the pendulum. Yes, it can. So this is the question. I mean, it's just we've never borne witness to a more heinous human being. We didn't know somebody this heinous like Dumpy existed, and Putin is in the same category, only worse. So 3 cards about what the hell. What the hell? I think the moon today has been in Aries all day. Yeah, that's fiery. It's fiery like Sagittarius, very similar. Okay, this is that there's a lot of things going on behind the scenes. So that makes sense. The 9 of Cups, a lot of evidence, a lot, almost too much. Behind the scenes, this is the High Priestess. There is a lot going on, and I'm really struck by how it's almost too much. So I'm not necessarily referring to Keg's breath, just the whole thing. No, I didn't get a haircut. I went swimming in the ocean. Thank you. The 10 of Wands and the 9 of Cups. There's just a lot. So it's a secret undercover. I don't feel at all like this meeting they're supposed to have is happening without undercover kind of surveillance. I do feel like our military is in the know about what's going to happen. But here's the thing. I'm not a political genius. I'm not a military genius. I'm a mere psychic. But here's the thing, and we're all just citizens. We know that Russia is the enemy. We know that Putin is KGB. We know that he has every psychological manipulative technique or tactic that's ever been created and more. He knows how to play Dumpy. I know how dangerous Putin is. You know how dangerous Putin is. Why are they not talking about it on the news? Let's ask that. Why are they not talking about it? Are you seeing this on the news? If you go to mainstream media, are you seeing the alarm that the 2 of the most dangerous men on the freaking planet, no joke, Russia and the United States are nuclear enemies? They have the potential with one slip to obliterate the entire planet. And we're not talking about this. We're not talking about this. We're not, like walking down the street and bump into someone. Hey, have you heard Putin is going to meet with Dumpy? Well, maybe you call him Trump. It's making me crazy that people aren't talking about it. And I'm really on a rant tonight because I'm so fucking angry. That's why the pendulum did the big clear. That was the deep clear. Oh, this isn't angry. This is fury. Yeah, my viewers, y'all are so sweet. Y'all give me permission to rant. But I actually was looking forward to coming on. I always look forward to coming on. but particularly so I could share how I'm feeling about all of this. So I'm going to choose 3 cards about the meeting itself. Well, first, I have been getting vibes all day. Couple things. I've been getting vibes all day that the Kremlin is like so excited. They're so excited. You're not allowing yourself to get angry, Zircon? I don't recommend that. Just saying. I don't recommend it. It's not healthy to hold it in. We'll get into his Kennedy Center rant today. I did hear a little bit of it. They're 2 of the most dangerous people on the planet. So I'm going to pull 3 cards about... Okay, so the Kremlin they're like in celebratory mode. They're in celebration mode. Marby's saying I try not to be hungry. You mean hangry? They're celebrating. I'm going to read on that right now. I'm going to read on what's going on with the energy at the Kremlin because I feel like they're celebrating. And I think that's why I'm so mad. I think that's really it. Yeah. There are times you want to scream at the injustices, then scream. I'm a big advocate for punching pillows and screaming. And if somebody's home, just say to them, I'm going to my room and I'm going to punch pillows and scream. So put in your earplugs, right? Mary saying I don't watch the news. Well, I don't know, like, how you know what's going on. I don't watch the news. I get my information from not mainstream media. Although I do hear clips of Lawrence O'Donnell. I hear clips of Rachel Maddow. I do. Yes, angry and hungry. Yes, hangry. Okay, so I'm asking about what's going on at the Kremlin. Okay, yeah, they're celebrating. Yeah, they feel like they've captured the United States of America. They feel like they've captured the United States of America. Maria's going to the gym. That helps. They are celebrating. They feel like they've captured the United States of America. I'm putting it right out there for all of you to hear. The 5 of Swords, it's going to be tough for the Kremlin. Very burdensome. There's some booby traps being set for Putin. Yeah, there's some booby traps being set for Putin. We can look into that a little bit more. I told you I'd be reading on it all week. And I'm not saying that Putin is going to capture the United States, but what I know, this is what I'm saying. If I know it, I'm just a regular citizen. I've been writing about it for years, that Putin has in his sights that he wants to turn the United States of America into the Russian Federation of America. So I think maybe it's probably, I'm a little on edge because I've been saying that for a while. And he's a master manipulator. Master manipulator. Yeah, it's too much. It's beyond too much. So, because I know that that is his plan. We're going to look at this a little bit more. So I have the 10 of Wands and the 5 of Swords. It's going to be really hard. But when I read on it earlier, I think I started reading on this on Friday. Last Friday. I picked up that it would be a huge mess. I picked up that it would be a pivot point. This was on Friday. I picked up that this would be the turning point. But can Putin manipulate a dementia patient? How is it that you don't think that that makes it like exponentially simpler? We have a Dr. joke. Oh, Thomas, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm always glad that you're here, but we definitely need you tonight. Why did the mobile phone need glasses? Yeah, you're funny because I need my glasses. Where'd you go? Lost all its contacts, but I'm bummed. You made me drop my cards. Hang on. I'll be right up. What are you saying there about dementia? Somebody? Dementia patients usually get angry. That's a symptom, but it's kind of there are a lot of different kinds of dementia. And if you all are knowledgeable about the different types of dementia, if you work in the field, maybe you know, if you work with the elderly, you're more familiar. You're a nurse, you're more familiar. I can douse with the pendulum to see what kind of dementia that Dumpy has. Notice that I'm saying what kind, not whether he has it. Yeah, I mean, I've gone through that with my family, but it's not the anger. That's hardly ever the case. Just forgetful. Okay. There's about 75 forms of dementia. What are the most common? There must be like 3 or 4 that are the most common. Okay. Yeah, the Russians have always been playing the long game, Darren saying. Absolutely. They easily identified the Achilles heel of the USA. Absolutely. Green power money, exactly what we all, yeah. And it was like 3.5 years ago. We saw the Republicans turn into the party of evil people, right? We watched it. It was incremental, but it definitely turned into the party of evil people. And what I kept on saying was they should all have signs on their back, stuck on their back. You know, like the kick me signs that say, I work for Putin. I didn't really hear anybody else talking about that on their channels. All right, so 3 cards about Dumpy's status. Did anybody hear they're planning to have some kind of a fight, like a wrestling match on the White House front lawn? Here's the other thing. How furious we are that this is what they're doing to our country. This last year at this time, we had the joy of Kamala. That's who we are. The joy of Kamala. I've heard that joke. What did the triangle say to the circle? You're pointless. Bum. Oh, fell for the joke. I'm pulling 3 cards on Dumpy. Thank you for being here tonight and putting up with me. Please hit the thumbs up when we have 200 thumbs up. It's customary for us to do a group hug, and it really helps us. Dementia patients see things that are not there. Yeah, my dad was doing that, but he was seeing spirits, which was interesting, because I would say to him, Dad, you're just like me. You're psychic. He really was seeing ghosts. I knew that. Anyway, how's Dumpy doing? This burden comes up for both of them, for Putin and Dumpy. It's going to be a big fat mess, that meeting. Yeah. Thank you, Michael, for encouraging people to hit the thumbs up. The 8 of Wands, fast-moving action, the Knight of Pentacles. This is our military. Okay, I'm getting less worried. Not less angry, but less worried. I have about Dumpy. He has the same 10 of Wands. Big burden. This is really, because look at it. The EU, NATO, all the European countries, the International Criminal Court, there's, you know, Putin is a war criminal. There's all this pressure, all these burdens, that they're having to do this with all this being watched. And they will be watched. But the Knight of Pentacles indicates that the military is going to do something here. The military is going to protect us here. I do feel that. Now I'm going to ask a difficult question. Yeah, we have a few war criminals, right? A difficult question. I'm just going to ask the question. Does Putin have plans to invade and take over the United States of America? Okay, so it's doing this. Now this isn't a clearing as much as it's saying it's not known yet. Well, he has plans, but he doesn't know if it can happen. Yeah, the world is watching. Yes, that's true. Zelensky tried to talk to Trump today. I didn't get to see if that ever happened. Putin has a lot of doubles. And I told you on Friday when Dumpy said he was going to Russia to meet Putin. Like he's all proud. This is what makes me crazy. Oh yeah, he's bragging that he's going to meet. He's going to represent the United States of America, and he's excited that he's going to meet the biggest war criminal on the planet right now. Netanyahu is, running really close second. All right, so does Putin have plans to take Alaska back? Yep. Putin has plans. Now, I'm not saying he'll be able to do it, but that's a strong yes. I know. I just heard that Dumpy was talking about Leningrad instead of St. Petersburg. He's in his other lifetime. I'm going to read on that. Is Dumpy's past lifetime leaking through? Uh-huh. I told you he can't. He's having a hard time shaking the dictator lifetime when he was Mussolini. That's real. Darren's sharing her mom's seeing two women in the room when she was dying. Yeah. The spirit world is real, and I like to remind everybody of that. I mean, that's why we're here, right? Because the spirit world is real. I've spent my whole life in that, dimension in a certain way. Maybe you have too, where it's just been the focus. So, yeah, I do get angry, but then I have to remember that we're not alone. Does Putin have a solid plan for taking Alaska at the present moment? Yeah, it's so he is going to ask. Once again, is Putin going to ask Dumpy? Well, I don't think he'd ask. I think he would demand it. Coerce is the word that comes. Is Putin going to coerce Dumpy to give him Alaska? Yes. I mean, he's going to be working on coercing him. Okay, let's ask this. Will Dumpy say, sure, you can have Alaska? I have a no on that. I think somebody's talking to Dumpy and says, if you do that, you're done. You're done. It's over for you. That's what I feel like. Okay, so that's... Putin will ask, Dumpy will say no, but I get that Dumpy will say no because people know that that's what Putin's going to ask. Let's pull one of these cards that Maria sent to me, called the Akashic Truth cards, to give us some guidance on this situation. I'm spending a lot of time on this, but this is about whether we remain the United States of America and whether we're safe. This is Putin's MO, right? This is his identity. This is his brand. Oh, I would like some land. Oh, I think, okay, I'm going to go take it. He has literally, he has no sense of boundaries. You think Dumpy is mad at Putin? Well, yeah, he's got him by a rope. He has him on a leash. Putin has Dumpy on a leash. I'm just going to pull one of these cards that Maria sent to give us a little guidance. Everyone take a deep breath. And hold it in a long breath out. Skills and talents. This is helpful. Remember, we have one of the, I don't know if we still have the strongest military in the world, but we have a reputation for having the strongest military in the world. We sure as hell, as a nation, have dumped a really lot of money into our military. So this is our guidance here. It's pointing to skills and talents. So I think this is pointing to our military has a lot going for it, despite all that Dumpy has done to destroy the morale and everything. Remember, they don't like Dumpy at all. Everyone has unique skills and talents. Discover where you shine and work to improve. Create value with your skills. Let your talents shine and you'll become a better version of yourself. I think this is about our military. That they have the skills, they have the equipment, they have the expertise, and mostly what I'm picking up on is they have the military intelligence. They know what's happening. Okay, I'm gonna read on the National Guard in DC. What I'm gonna read on, I haven't even gotten to my list on my whiteboard yet. But this whole Putin thing is, I mean, this is like, we are living through some really interesting historic times. This has never happened. Putin is prepping his military and citizens in eastern Russia. I'm going to pull 3 cards about the National Guard in DC. And by the way, I don't even want to say the name, but I will. This is what we've come to. Big Balls Dude did not get beat up. You come here for my psychic impression, that's my psychic impression. Dumpy's really good at the, my mouth. Dumpy's really good at, at fake blood. Actually, let's read on that. Let's read on that, and then we'll read on the National Guard in DC. I mean, they're connected because Dumpy was using, what the really, the internet? I don't even like saying big balls. I can't even believe that they've reduced us to this. Dumpy would call us human scum. The gods are angry. The thunder is rolling behind me. Oh my gosh. If you guys could see outside right now, there's a big dark cloud over me. With edges. We're going to read on big balls. Do you hear the thunder? We haven't had that many thunderstorms. This is interesting. You'll see everything going crazy. If I knew where he lived, he would lose his big balls via voodoo doll. You guys are too much. Are we up to 200 thumbs up yet? We need 12 more. I can't tell when I'm on StreamYard, and StreamYard's been pretty good, so I'm going to stick with it. I'm reading on... I can't say those words again. I'm reading on Stupid Kid. The Stupid Kid. What is he? A social media mogul, or what is he anyway? Oh yeah, they're going to find out that that was faked. Just like Butler. Yeah, Mary's just right up the road in Beverly. You having thunderstorms there? Yeah, it just rolled in. Actually, I was leaving the beach. I was there for a couple hours this afternoon. I was leaving the beach, and all of a sudden, it came in really fast. Yeah, that was fake. Tower card. Fake, 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 fake. Who's surprised? Is anybody surprised? Does it make you go, oh my gosh, they faked that? Do you remember when Dumpy gave Rush Limbaugh the, what was it, like the Peace Award or something? Yeah. Dumpy caused 300,000 people to lose their jobs. It's awful. And we're gonna. I know that I'm raging, but I think the rage is necessary collectively because you know when you get really mad, that's when you do shit. Have you heard of the new movie called The Constipation? It hasn't come out yet. That's a Thomas joke. Oh no, you changed your handle? You guys are confusing me all, changing your handles. I'm reading on Big Balls. He will, look at this. This looks like how he looked in that picture of being beat up, right? No, it wasn't real. It was fake. And we're going to find out about it just like we're going to find out about Butler. They get the fake blood. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't mean to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but I tell it like I sees it. You got over 200 thumbs up. Oh, we got over 200 thumbs up. You all did that. Okay. Let's read on we'll read on the National Guard in a sec. Let's do the group hug first. Thank you for helping me get up to 200 thumbs up. Red dye and corn syrup makes fake blood. I'm telling you, let's ask the Pendulum before we do a group hug. Let's ask, was Butler fake? Yes, Butler was fake. Remember all the people that look like they had maxi pads on their ears? Oh my god. This is where we are. I know. I want to switch timelines. Was the big balls thing faked? Yes. It's clear. It's not even like in the nebulous zone. It's clear. Every reporter needs to always say, that's interesting, but the Epstein files, because it makes them crazy. That's true. It's a good point. So we're going to do a group hug, and then we'll read on some more things. Let's do a group hug that this country, let's do a group hug that this country makes it untenable for Putin to come here. That it's just all messed up. And let's do a group hug for all the protesters out there and all the detainees and anybody who's struggling. And to raise our vibration. We're hugging each other. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I can feel the love. Thank you. Why don't they just meet in Russia? Well, Dumpy thinks he is meeting in Russia. And Putin told him to say Russia. I'm gonna ask that again. Because I did ask that initially. Did Putin tell Dumpy to say Russia? Yes. And I think Dumpy said something about meeting him in Russia the next time. Yeah. The National Guard in D.C. Let's ask this. What percentage of the National Guard likes being in D.C.? 10%? 20%? They're probably getting paid, but it's about 20% of the National Guard likes being in D.C. Well, you know, and it could be that they like being in D.C. just because, you know, they're going to show the people that they're not going to attack them. Is that true? That's actually true. So let's pull 3 cards about this whole, you know, oh, DC has so much crime. On Off the Ledge this morning, I mentioned that my mind keeps going to, because I keep telling you how the vibration on the planet is raising, and that's why these evildoers are going bananas. They're nutso. They're getting more nuts. The crime rate, I heard the statistic that it's down by 38% in DC, the crime rate. When I went to DC, I didn't feel unsafe. That's true. It's very true. Just on my own. Three cards about the National Guard, who are doing the same thing they were doing in LA. They're just like hanging around bored. Hanging around bored. So 38% down. The crime rate's down 38% over the past 30 years. And that makes me feel like the vibrational frequency is getting heightened. And that's kind of why we're in this mess. Yeah, and the governors are standing strong too. We'll read on them next. First, the National Guard. They're just doing what they're told. The Seven of Cups, they're perfectly aware that this is all a big gaslight. The Queen of Rods, it looks like the law is going to, I mean, the actual laws, our Constitution, the laws that we are supposed to have in the United States, it looks like the laws will hold just about, you know, how long he can have the National Guard in D.C., whether it's really an emergency. I'm sorry, Big Balls being beat up, not an emergency. No, that does not qualify as danger to the entire city. I'm sorry. I mean, you shouldn't think that highly of yourself. Oh yeah, I'm the emergency. Shut down the whole city. Call in the National Guard. I got beat up by teenagers. Hello? I'm not so sure we have to deal with this for 30 days because I didn't get that. We're in unprecedented, you know, uncharted territory. So, but I do see, there's no emergency. I do see the Queen of Rods is, I see judges. I see judges and the law that says this is not an emergency. Let's ask, will the National Guard stay be cut short because we're not in an emergency? Yes, I do get that. How long were they in LA? Were they in LA for 30 days? Trump is pissed ET won't give him a medal. Was I the only one that heard that they're going to have a fight on the White House lawn? Did anyone else hear that? Let me look at my list. Where is MAGA Mike? Where's MAGA Mike? What's MAGA Mike doing right now? Let's pull 3 cards about him. It's not raining that hard. I don't see any lightning. I think we're good. MAGA Mike. You heard about the fight on the White House lawn? We should be protesting that. And you know, tomorrow I'm going to call my representatives and express fury that Putin is coming here and they're not saying anything about it. That's what makes me nuts. Why are they not saying anything about it? MAGA Mike. I really need to read on why our representatives aren't saying anything about it. How's Alaska feeling about this meeting? Well, how would you feel if you were in Alaska? I mean, if Putin was coming to Massachusetts, I wouldn't be happy. I think we read on Murkowski the other day, and it wasn't happy for her. She had a lot of regrets. She had a lot of regrets about not standing up for democracy as much as she could. MAGA Mike. Oh, he doesn't look very happy. I have the 5. Oh, this is about the Epstein thing in MAGA Mike. Five of Wands. MAGA Mike has some real challenges coming up for him. The Wheel of Fortune, a turn of his fortune. The Hierophant. This has to do with the law and MAGA Mike. He decided to scurry away and send everybody home early for their August break. I don't remember what the date was, but it was like the last week and a half of July. Sent everybody home. He couldn't deal. Oh, he's so tough, right? He couldn't deal with all these Epstein questions, and that, you know, they didn't know how to cover it up. They hadn't figured it out yet. So MAGA Mike, I mean, I have a turn of fortune for him, and I've always gotten the death card in terms of how long he'll be speaker. Time is hard to predict, but I don't think he's going to be speaker for much longer. And the Hierophant is the law and our Constitution. So what I had said about the whole Epstein thing in the past was that I did see Dumpy pardoning Ghislaine, and then the victims are going to come forward and really start speaking, and then all the women rise up in a fury. It's a thing now, and men too rise up in a fury. These are crimes against children. And the President of the United States, it's bad enough he's meeting with Putin. And Putin has dirt on him regarding Epstein. Don't be fooled. But he's going to pardon a heinous monster who committed crimes against children for how long? Fight on lawn scheduled for July. He's not going to be there in July. I'm going to read on... Anyway, MAGA Mike looks like he's kind of done. He's kind of done. He's a cooked potato. Let's see... Okay, so trying to remember which press conference it was. It was the one where Dumpy was saying he was going to meet with Putin in Russia. I mean, first I was like, oh, he's going to Russia? And then we realized he meant Alaska. And he said it twice, which tells you it wasn't his dementia. Pam Blondie was standing next to him. What a cast of characters. I gotta tell you. I have to show you this. I'm not trying to make you mad, I swear. So Pam Blondie's standing behind him. Look at this cast of characters. Look at this freaking circus. So I saw her at the press conference, and I got the sense, I know it's hard to see. Hegseth is looking at him like he's terrified, and he's trying to act tough, and Blondie looked like she was going to pass out. Thank you for your donation. Does that say $21? That's a magical number. I appreciate it. I'm going to read on her. On Blondie. And thank you for thanking her for the donation. I've always picked up about Pam Blondie that she has an eating disorder. She's very high strung. Very, very nervous. Lordy, lordy, lordy. We need to get Sicilian what? We need to get Sicilian mad. I am. Can you not tell? I'm Sicilian Irish mad. The French doesn't get as mad, as angry. Yes. Roe Cannon and Thomas Massey, who's a Republican, are planning to bring survivors of abuse by Jeffrey Epstein and his conviction, yes, to the Capitol, yes. And I had read, before that happened, I had read that when he pardons Ghislaine, then the women step up. I'm reading on Pam Blondie at the moment. Who she is in cahoots with, who she is indebted to, this is entanglement. Blondie is entangled big time. Big time. Your heart is a muscle. She's probably damaged it. Yeah, more ways than one. Oh, we have more Sicilians in the house. Don't make us mad. Knight of Wands. Oh, okay. 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 So what Massey is doing, and Roe are doing. Roe, Kana, Democrat in California, and Thomas Massey, Republican from Kentucky, are planning to bring survivors of abuse by convicted sex offender Epstein and his convicted co-conspirator. Yeah, they're planning that. And so when I'm reading on Pam Blondie, she's in a big tangled mess. She doesn't know what to do because they're doing that. Let's ask if it's going to happen. Is it going to happen? Is that going to happen with the survivors? I have a yes. It's going to happen with the survivors. Crazy. All of a sudden it got really humid with that rain starting. Phew. Wow. So Dumpy's going after the blue cities because we're happy. I'm sorry. You're probably happy if you're in a red city, but maybe not as happy. I was thinking about Dumpy today and how long we've had to look at him on the golf course, a big fat tub of lard with that stupid red hat on. Not only when he's on the golf course, but when he's traveled internationally, he has the stupid red hat on. We deserve so much better. Let me ask this. Because the other night, remember, I got that Maxwell was really angry at Dumpy. And actually, it turned out, I think it turned out that one of her cellmates was speaking out about what Giselle had told her about Dumpy. And I thought Maxwell was going to come out with it. No, it's not going to be her that comes out with all the dirt on Dumpy, because he's going to pardon her. But is all the dirt on Dumpy going to come out? Yes. Yes. Wow. And I asked all. Wow. Okay. Hang on. Let's read on Hegseth. I must say that I have 2 decks of nefarious cards, and I barely use the others. There's so much evil going on. Don't worry, we're going to blow it away. That's going to be on September 3rd, the day the House returns. Thanks, Maria, for putting that up there. Yeah, it's going to be on September 3rd. Okay. That's Sadhguru's birthday. I don't know if that's significant, but it might be. Hegseth. When I think of Hegseth, I really see him talking to the Kremlin on a regular basis. And the other one is a Wilcott. That this country has been as naive as it has, that really concerns me. It really does. Hegseth. There it is again. He's in cahoots. There are whistleblowers about Hegseth and the King of Pentacles. His connections to Putin are going to become very clear very soon. And then what happens? Is he going to face consequences for that? Yes, he is. So let's do this. We're winding down. People are dropping off. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to be boring. I'm just kidding. I'm going to pull cards about what's going to happen when Putin demands that Dumpy hand over Alaska? What's going to happen then? My comments have stopped moving. Hang on. Okay. What's going to happen? What's going to happen after the meeting? Well, I haven't asked yet if it's going to happen. I was fishing for that. Someone just said never boring in it. That's our Irish friend, right? Thank you. Is a meeting with Putin going to happen? I consistently get that it's still up in the air. You never know what Putin's going to do. What's going to happen to Dumpy? Let's kind of end with that. What's going to happen to Dumpy? Yesterday I had mentioned felt like a real pivotal day. A lot of things we don't hear about them happening when they happen. Some have the opinion that the meeting with Putin is not going to happen. I keep on getting a nebulous answer, like it's still in play. I think I hit a wrong button. Hang on. King of Swords, all the connections to Putin are going to become crystal clear, and he's going to face judgment. This is about Dumpy. All the Putin connections will become crystal clear. I mean, we know they're there. We all know they're there. So I was ranting so much. It's like, it's not like we don't know. Too much weird energy going on. You haven't had a decent night's sleep all week. Get some exercise. I'm talking from experience. Page of Swords, King of Swords, Judgment. Get more exercise. If you're having trouble sleeping, get more exercise. And, you know, it'll work. Not at night. The Page of Swords, Whistleblowers, King of Swords, his connections to Putin will be clear as clear can be, and he will face judgment. This is about Dumpy. Hillary said all roads lead to Russia. I think Pelosi said that, and she might have said that too. But she said right to Dumpy during that debate, when Russia helped Dumpy steal the election the first time. I won't keep saying that I can't believe this is where we are, but I can't believe this is where we are. There, I said it again. Hillary said, you're Putin's puppet. Looked right at him. You're Putin's puppet. Putin probably canceled, but Dumpy will look bad if he admits that. Yeah, I'll do a pop-up tomorrow and we'll take a look. Yeah, all roads lead to Russia. We knew that Russia meddled in the election. There was the Mueller report. There was all this stuff. I largely blame the Supreme Court, and I largely blame the party of evil people for not protecting their constituents. Send Evelyn some Reiki. She pulled her left shoulder muscle and you can't move. Try some arnica. Okay, so I love you guys so much. It's so lovely to be with you. And we had a good night for Wednesday. It's usually lightly attended. So StreamYard's been helpful because it puts a notification up better than just using YouTube. So please book a session. I'm dying to do a reading for you. I've had barely anybody, and I mean really nobody's been booking readings. See, the car horn's going, book a reading! I don't know. When you're a member, you have access to all the videos where I basically teach you a lot about what I do. And there's a course coming up I'll be teaching the last week of August. One video a week on how to read the tarot. That will be a long course. And tomorrow I'll do a pop-up. And tomorrow night we have guided meditation for Healed America. Please do those guided meditations. We'll be live here at 7 p.m. tomorrow. It's only for half an hour. All right. Thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And have a great night. Be good to yourselves. Namaste. See ya.